So obviously these are not worked out solutions. These are just answers. But if there are any questions, like you want me to go through this process, and the quiz that we'll have next week, again, you can take the quiz whenever you want next week. You can do it during class on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday, or come during office hours. But by Friday, the 17th, you got to do it if you haven't done it then. So don't try to wait till last minute. It's always good to just get out of the way. But it's going to be a question kind of like number one, perhaps. Um, I have to look at what they wrote for the quiz, the other teachers. I'll just go with what they've done. They're probably one that'll involve an infinite or no solution situation, perhaps. And then looks like there's some other stuff here, like I don't know. Well, there might be something like multiplying matrices or adding or subtracting matrices or distributing or matrix equations. Any questions about these you want to go over that you may have got stuck on maybe as you're working through this? You still want to see the process of doing the row reduced echelon form? No? Remember, we do have the videos. I did update Schoology, a lot of good stuff. So if you go to Schoology, go to our last unit. I did put the playlist, so it's all there. All the solution keys are right there for all the homeworks. I mean, they're really answers. All the assignments I've already put here. There's still yet one more assignment that will be due after this weekend. Yeah, just files, a bunch of files here, so we're good. You're okay. And the filled out notes are here as well. But the videos are probably gonna be your best friend, I think. So you may want to watch one on row reduced echelon form. So we're okay. All right, let's go to the lesson then. That's easy. Okay. So this is our last lesson. It's called Determinants and Cramer's Rule. Now, kind of a fun little story. When I interviewed for Sacred Heart 19 years ago, gosh, I was 27 years old. They had a math teacher who left really late in the year, like was upset over not being the department chair, which is totally asinine because being department chair is like one of the shittiest jobs to get at this school, to be honest, at least a math department chair. So anyway, they were looking for a math teacher, and there was a family that brought my name to Rich Dioli and some other person. Like, yeah, have this guy come interview. Well, summer, so they didn't have anyone around, they didn't have students around to do the class. So Kevin Morris was coaching swimming. He got a bunch of kids from the pool, and I was teaching this lesson on Cramer's rule. We hardly ever do this lesson in this school, but for some reason we stuck in here. But I remember I teaching this lesson and had a bunch of kids in here with like flip flops and swimsuits. So anyway, I just remember that when I taught this before. I've only taught a handful of times this lesson, but so it's a very, I don't want to say trivial, but it's a technique that's kind of cool, but not really used often. And for some reason, they told me to teach this lesson when I interviewed for the job, so I remember that because of that. So anyway, first off, what is a determinant? A determinant is simply a matrix operation. So some you apply to a matrix, and it only applies to a square matrix, meaning the rows and columns have to be equivalent. So this is a 2x2 matrix. You do a 3x3, 4x4. Specifically for a 2x2, the determinant's down this way. Just again, it's just an operation. Just multiply these two and these two. That's it. You do have to remember to do this first, going from top left to bottom right. So going along this way, you have to do that first. Maybe just things like A, B, A for alphabet, perhaps that helps remember. And to go A, B, C, D, I don't know, and then minus B, C. That's all it is. It's just a matrix operation. This actually has shown up on the ACT exams. And they usually put like near the end, like number 55 or 56 out of 60 questions. Sometimes they'll just give you the formula, you just do it, which is kind of easy. Sometimes they don't. So you'd have to remember it. So I have seen it show up on the ACT exam in case anyone's doing that in June or in the fall. But anyway, it's really simple. All you do is just multiply this diagonal and multiply. Oh, I covered it. Multiply this diagonal and multiply that diagonal. That's all. -6 minus -5. -6 plus 5. -1. That's all. Why do we care about this? It does play a role in something else that we're going to do today called Cramer's rule. It actually helps you solve systems of equations. It can actually be used to actually find the area of a triangle, believe it or not. If you actually have a coordinate plane, you have like 3 corners or 3 vertices of a triangle. You have all the coordinates. You could actually use some formula that involves a determinant to find the area of the triangle. So the determinant actually has a lot of kind of cool features. For those who might be studying econ in college, you have to take a class called linear algebra, which is all about matrices. believe it or not. You do an entire class just on matrices, and this actually plays a role in a lot of different things, a lot of analyses you do with matrices. So it seems like a very simple process, seems kind of trivial. Actually, it has some pretty lasting impact if you do take a class specifically on matrices. So, oh boy. Okay, 3 by 3. We're not this by the way, we're not going to ask you to do a 3 by 3 by hand on the actually let me double check. Let me freeze. I think we might have to do the determinant, but maybe a 2 by 2. Let's just let me pause the video. Yeah, so for 3 by 3, the way this works, it's whole easy to do, but you take the 3 by 3 and you repeat the first two columns, and then you simply just go down these diagonals and multiply these numbers and add them up. And then you do likewise along these diagonals, so you subtract those products. That's how it works. Seriously, you could just use a calculator. And you know what? I'm just going to do that right now for this one. I'm not going to do this diagonal method. It's stupid. I'll be honest, it's really lame. But I'll show you how it's done in the calculator. So in case if you do take a class like this in college, and if anything, what I probably suggest that you do before you leave is maybe bookmark or download the links for all my playlists, or maybe I'll send you guys the links, save it somewhere. So if you happen to take a class and you forget something and the professor's not helping you out, you have it. So that might help you guys. I don't know. Yeah. No, yeah, cool, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so I'm gonna show you this in the calculator. It's actually pretty easy. So what you want to do is you have to hit second x negative 1, go to math and select determinant. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to second x negative 1. I'm going to type in a matrix. I'm going to make a 3 by 3. And I'm just going to type up numbers. That's all. So my numbers are 2, enter, 3, enter, 1, enter, negative 4, enter. Got to do negative, not minus. Otherwise, we'll freak out. The calculator will freak out. 5, enter, 6, enter, 8, enter. I'll quit. I'm going to call it matrix A. Go back to the matrix, call it up, and it'll do it for you. There you go, 122. Whatever that means. So there's two ways actually you can do it. One way, I did the old school way, was hit second x negative 1 and go to edit, and you can edit any of these matrices you want. But you have to select determinant first because you have to call up that that function or that feature. And once you have it edited or you've entered, when you quit back to the home screen, you have to actually go back and call it up under names. And you call it up that way. You can also type it up this way as well. I've hit alpha zoom. I'm just not sure if it's going to work that well doing it this way. It was good for multiplying, adding matrices. I mean, I could try it really quickly. 2. And because I have a keyboard, it's actually a little easier for me. Negative 4, 7, negative 9, 5, 6, 8. But then I have to actually insert the determinant. So hit second, insert, second matrix, math, determinant. Actually, it looks like it will do it. Just kind of a pain. You got to hit in the parentheses. Yeah, you can do that way as well. So that's another way you could enter it as well. Yeah, I mean, I could do the whole. Yeah, let's repeat the first 2 rows, 2, 3. Sorry, first 2 columns, and do this whole diagonal nonsense. But no, let's not do it. It's just you can see that you're very prone to making careless errors. You got to do 2 times 7 times 8, 3 times negative 9 times blah blah blah. And it's just no, it's crazy. Let's not do it. Okay, Cramer's rule. This is the lesson I taught to get this job. So here I've been 19 years later. I'm still here, right? And again, there's all these students in flip-flops and swim trunks. It was hilarious. And I was like in a nice suit, and it was like summertime. But Cramer's rule. You can use this to solve a system of equations. It can actually be used to solve a 3 by 3, like 3 equations, 3 variables. We'll do a 2 by 2. And the way it works is you organize the system very neatly. It's got to be very, very organized. You have to understand the form. X and Y on one side, the constant on the other side. X on one side, constant on the other side. The coefficients of X and Y will form a matrix in the bottom. So you have A, B, D, E. A, B, D are the coefficients of X and Y for both equations. And then what you do next is for the top matrices, if you solve for X, you replace the X coefficients with C and F, to keep the intact, and do vice versa for Y. This is not in the final. Don't worry. I'm not expecting to memorize it. I'm just talking about it. That's all I'm doing. I'm just talking about it. So let's do it. And then we'll check to see if it works. So X is going to equal, and by the way, determinant, I forgot to mention. Determinant can also be used. You could, if you do like these two vertical lines, and they don't look like a brackets, because remember, for the most part, information we're in brackets. When we replace the bracket with two vertical lines, that indicates the determinant. Or if you write DET right next to it with the normal brackets, that also indicates determinant as well. Forgot to mention that. So you see the two vertical lines, it means determinant. So X will equal the determinant of, well, first of all, the bottom, 6, 6, 5, 1. Need a little more space. Let's do this. Okay. 6, 6, 5, 1. And here, -6, 13, 6, 1. Right? And as I said, to do the determinant, you just multiply this and multiply this and subtract the products. So 6 minus 30. Multiply this. Subtracted by this, which is 78. Negative 84. Is that right? I did right. That seems a little funny to me. Okay. I think you get 3.5. Hope that's right.
I think it's a plus and like
Did I make a mistake?
the 13 is negative.
Wait. Yes. Thank you. I knew something seemed off, guys. Okay. My apologies. So that's negative 78, which comes 72. My apologies. Thank you for catching that, Liam. So my bad. 72, that's -3. My apologies. Okay, there we go. I knew that seemed a little off. You see, you still commit careless errors, so you gotta be careful. Then Y will equal. So 6, 5, 6, 1. Now I know that's just going to be -24. And then keep the x coordinates intact, but change the 6 and 1 to -6 and -13. So that's going to be -78 minus -30, which should be -48. Should be 2. So the answer is 2, -3. And if you're tested out, try it. Okay, I made a mistake again, guys. What did I do? I made a mistake. What the heck what am I doing wrong, guys? Some please explain what, but I know I made a gross mistake somewhere. -13. Okay. 6 minus 30. That doesn't make sense. Hold on.
I is it 6?
Because I did 6 times 1 minus 6 times 5. So it's -24. -6, -13, 6 and 1, 72, -3. Oh, no. Oh, okay, guys. It's Friday. I did it right. You know what I just did, guys? I wrote the order pair wrong. My apologies. Okay, I knew I was losing my mind. All right, -3. I got it right. -15 plus -13, -18 plus 12, -6. Sorry, I got X, Y mixed up. It's Friday. All right, we're good. So it makes sense. That's Cramer's rule. Okay, now do it for a 3 by 3 Oh boy. All right, let's do this really fast. And then I think that's the last example. No, then we find area of a triangle, then we're done. Okay. So here's how we're gonna I'm gonna set it up first. So you can do the determinants of 1, -6, 4, 1, 1, -4, 2, 2, 5, 1, 1. Sorry, you're gonna replace that. And just use a calculator to do it. You can see why doing this by hand would be insane. So if I go to second matrix, edit, let's do the denominator first. So 1, enter, -6, enter. You can have a keyboard, it's easier for me. 1, enter, 1, enter, -4, enter, 2, enter, 2, enter, 5, enter. And actually I can call this up again. We get 126. And then it's too bad I can't like copy and paste the matrix. So let's make a new one. 3 by 3, -12, -6, 4, 12. And again, you can totally make an error with that entry. That can happen. -15, 2, 5. We'll change that to a B. That seems really weird to me. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me make sure I punch it in right. 1, -6, 4, 1, 1, -4, 2, 2, 5. Okay. -12, 12, -15, -6, 1, 2, 4, -4, 5. Okay. 1, -6, 4, 2, 2. Ah, see, I made a mistake. See, it totally happens. Happens best of us. 1. Because it just seemed weird, right? Okay. Let me double check the other one. Against Friday. 1, -6. See, I'm losing my mind again, guys. Actually, I think just didn't get the 12 in there. Yeah, that's wrong as well. No, this one, that should be 12. Okay. Okay. Let's keep my fingers crossed that this will be okay. Bless you. Then let me call up this one. You can see why doing this by hand is not advisable. Okay, I feel better about that. And actually, I think this is correct. I think that is what we're supposed to get. So you get 0 for this one. Then you kind of rinse and repeat for Y and Z. I think you get the idea. I mean, I could do it really fast. Let's do it in the calculator. Second matrix. Let me change this one. Obviously, I'm going to change the middle column to -12. Change that to 12. Change that to -15. Zero again. That's interesting. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does actually. Yeah, that will make sense. So why we get 0 and 91 again, it's 0. Yeah, because if that's 0 and that's 0, then Z has to be -3. And that makes sense here. 0, 0, 0, 0. Yeah. All right. There you go. So that's Cramer's rule. Area of a triangle, as I mentioned earlier, you could find the area of a triangle using this. So if I were to plot the points, you don't have to draw the graph, but generally speaking, it kind of looks like this. So we'll say it calls like A, B, and C. And Alex, you put your phone away, please.
Yes.
All right. So you can find the area of this triangle. And now to find the area of this triangle, we know like area times 1 is 1/2 times base times height. It's hard to find that here. You can actually get a little creative and draw a rectangle around. I'm not sure if you guys remember this in geometry or middle school. Find the area of the rectangle and then find the area of these 3 right triangles and subtract them. That's yet another technique you could do. But you could also do this. If you do 1/2 times the determinant where you put the coordinates here, -3, -7, 1, 9, 7, -2. And these A and B and C's are different than these here, just so you know. And just put a bunch of 1s as the last column and work it out. Now, it's the absolute value. So we usually sometimes put plus or minus here because the determinant can be negative. So if it's negative, make it positive. But it'll get you the area of the triangle. And it's actually a pretty neat process. So hit alpha zoom. I'll just go here. Let's go -3, -7. Gosh darn it. Let's try this again. -7, 1, 1, 9, 1. Love the little rocket theme there. Thank you for whistling it. Got very nostalgic there. Okay, well, duh. Obviously, it just gives you that matrix. I gotta put the determinant feature. Okay. Inserts, matrix, math, boom, boom, boom. So I get -140. So all you do is just do 1/2 times -140, and your answer is 70. So that's the area of that triangle, 70. So yeah, that's all. No, none of this is. Nope. None of this.
So there are no determinants.
Oh, this is the determinant, but not the area of a triangle. Not the 3 by 3.
Determinant would be what you just plug in the calculator.
Yeah, and actually, 2 by 2 we could ask, but it's pretty simple. So now in terms of what's on the final, so there is some homework associated with this. So I mean, do it. It's right here, so you practice it. So this is the final exam review packet. The answer key is almost ready. I just have a few more problems to solve for. So I'll try to get that to you guys in just a little bit. But if you do want to get a head start on the final exam review, you can. The final exam will be on Tuesday and Wednesday, not next week, the week after. So 21st, 22nd. One will be non-calc, one will be calc. In terms of what we're going to put on there, and let me actually stop my recording.
They're going to be